the weather in New York.
Okay, so here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hi, and welcome to Remember This. I'm your host, Denise Boland. I'm so honored and excited to have with me Emmy Award winning TV, stage, and film star Brenda Vaccaro. Brenda, thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm glad to do it. This is fun. Glad to be here.
So, you could go to Wikipedia and find out about everybody. So I said, let me try something different. I'm going to ask Alexa about you. Is that okay?
I don't know if it's okay or not, but I don't even know this person.
This is Alexa.
If she knows more than I do, we're in trouble.
Let's see what Alexa says. Let's see what Alexa says about you. Alexa, can you tell me all about Brenda Vaccaro?
Brenda Buell Vaccaro was born in Wyckoff Heights Hospital on November 18th.
Oh, stop it.
She is an award-winning American stage, television, and film actress. She is best known for her super sultry husky voice in Boy, Can She Sell Tampons?
That's just great. This really starts off the day with me. This is great. Okay, so
that was
my story about the tampons to start with.
Yeah, that was me lightening the mood. So
yeah, right.
Apparently you could
really
program her.
Up, babe. Let me tell you a story about that.
Yes, please.
I was in New York and my agent said to me, there's no way you're going to turn this down. I said, what? They've offered you a tampon commercial. I went, huh? Say that again real slow. She said, they've offered you a tampon commercial. And I said, on the air? Radio? No. Where? She said, television. My mother's going to have a heart attack. I said, you can't be serious. She said, yes, and they're offering you a lot of money, so there's no way you can say no. Oh, yes, there is. She said, no, there isn't any way, Brenda. This is a lot of money. This is more money than you'll ever make in your career. I said, thanks a lot. I said, what do they expect me to do? They want you to sell the tampon, extra layered design. And I went, oh, this is terrible. I'm really depressed. She said, no, maybe it'll be interesting. Who knows? They're really great people. It's a very famous advertising agency. Anyway, I'm thinking and going crazy, saying, how am I going to do this? I can't take this money. I can't do this. And I called Gail Parent, who wrote Sheila Levine is Dead and Living in New York. And she wrote for Carol Burnett and everybody else. She's like a slow Dorothy Parker, At her party for Christmas, she had a ring on that was a marquee cut. And she showed it to me. And she said, what do you think of my ring? Larry gave it to me for Christmas. I said, I think it's great, Gail. God, that's beautiful. So big. I would have rather had a pool. Well, already that's the best line in the whole year that I'd heard anywhere. So I knew she was going to come up with something. So I go over to her house and I say, Gail, I got this big problem. I said, I'm going to do this commercial for tampons. I said, you got to come up with a commercial. You got to come up with something innovative, something that's just going to knock everybody's socks off. We got to win a Chloe with this. She said, oh, a Chloe. I said, yeah, a Chloe. It's an award. It's the award they give. She couldn't have cared less. Anyway, it comes up like 2 or 3 days later that she wants me to come over to her house. And so I go over to her house and she goes, so anyway, these people came to me and they said they had double layered design, a lot of absorbency, and it was nice smelling and it was good. It lasted a long time and they kept going on. And I said to myself, I thought it was a bra. That is the best. I couldn't wait to go to New York. On my way on Madison Avenue, I stopped with people, men, and I did it for them. I thought it was a bra, and everybody laughed. So I thought, this is it. We're in like Flynn. So I go into the office. There's about 6 guys with crew cuts. They look like ex-Marines sitting there like this. They're not too happy. They've been waiting, I guess. I don't know. And I sit down. I said, I'd just like to do this for you. They said, yeah, we heard. I said, well, I think it's innovative. I think we'll win a Chloe. It's funny. And I think it'll catch every guy by surprise and make him laugh. And I'll do it for you. So I did it. And afterwards they said, uh-uh.
They didn't laugh.
They didn't laugh. They didn't like it. They just said, don't tell us how to sell sticks. I thought, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. And then they said, I said to them, which is, I don't know where I heard it or why I thought it was a good thing to say, but I said, I'd like to shoot it both ways. And I said that to John Schlesinger when we were doing Midnight Cowboy. He said, I beg your pardon. I said, I'd like to shoot it 2 ways. I don't know where I heard it. Must have been in a book. I don't know. Anyway, they kind of acquiesced. And Adam Hollander, who was the cinematographer on Midnight Cowboy, was asked to do this with me. And he used to call me Pushu. And he said, Pushu, what are you doing? You're doing something outrageous, I hear. I said, maybe it'll win a Chloe. I had this Chloe thing in my head.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so I did it. And sure enough, they shot it both ways. And of course they didn't pick it.
No.
You know, of course, well, it was way too early. Now, today, Saturday Night Live, this wouldn't be rasty enough. You know, I mean,
It's true. Come a long
things have
way.
changed. Things have changed indeed. You know,
Yes.
but anyway, I took my shot and I tried. I was before my time, and so is Gail.
When was
I'll
the last
never
time you
forget.
saw that commercial?
What's that?
When was the last time you saw the commercial?
When Andrea Martin, that comic, she does it, and I was smoking at the time, and so she imitates me, and she was with SCTV. Remember her? She's brilliant.
I do. I have the video. I don't know if you want to see
Hi,
it.
I'm Brenda VACCARO.
Yes, the
And I just
breathing.
want to say that and I thought. So I went to this thing last year, or maybe a year before that, and it was the Christmas Carol with George C. Scott's son, Campbell Scott. And all of a sudden, the beginning of the play is everybody walking down the aisles, offering you an apple, offering you an orange. It was Christmas time. And so all of a sudden, this girl comes up to me with this long cape on from the 1800s, right? And she comes in, she said, would you like an apple? And I looked at her, I said, Andrea? She said, yes. I said, oh, I'm so glad to see you. How are you?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Can't thank you enough for the, well, she literally went down like this to her waist and said, I can't do this. They'll fire me. I got to get out of here. She was laughing so hard. Thank you for stopping by. So that's my story about
That's hysterical. Now the breathing part of the commercial. That was just natural
Okay.
breathing, or did they told you, oh, it's from the smoke?
No, because when you smoke, you hardly have any air left.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
So it wasn't
Oh,
too
that
kind
makes
on my
sense.
vocal cords. So it would be like, I want to tell you about these. That's an exaggerated capture of what I must have sounded like to a brilliant comedian like Andrea
Right,
Martin.
right.
It was an amazing experience, but God damn it, I tried.
Yes, you did. You were amazing.
And guys on the street of Menace and everything, I'd say, I do one thing, show you one thing. Oh yeah, aren't you wearing a girl? Yeah. I said, could you just take your briefcase and wait a minute and listen to this? And they'd laugh. So I thought, okay, I got 4 laughs. That means we're on our way here. I tried. I really tried.
Great. That's great. So I heard that you don't smoke anymore because Johnny Cash, he sent you to a church or something. Is that true?
No.
No. Oh, did you go
No,
to
but
some church?
he told me what church he went to. The church
Oh, okay.
was it a special religion? Church of
Seventh-day
Christ.
Adventist?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And he said they helped him stop smoking. I think they helped him do a lot more than smoking. I think he knew how to hit the bottle, this toots. And I just loved him, though. I had the best time with him. Oh, God, I loved him. What a great
Aw.
guy he was. What a great guy. He was amazing. He used
You
to make
acted
popcorn
alongside.
in his trailer
Really?
with June present at all times.
Oh,
But he was a great gentleman. I really liked him. But he said he gave up everything and What was that church you mentioned?
Seventh-day Adventist.
How do you know about that church? That's interesting.
I know, I heard,
Everybody but me know about that.
I heard it
church.
in one of your interviews. You mentioned it.
Oh, did I? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
you was telling
Okay.
somebody about it. Yeah.
Okay, that day when I remembered better. All right. Yeah.
I have
Johnny
those
gave
days.
it up. I had no intentions of giving it up at that time.
Yeah.
A cigarette, a Benson and Hedges was everything. Did you smoke?
I did. I
And what
did.
did you smoke?
I
Besides
smoked.
grass and everything else.
Wow. I started with the Virginia Slims. Remember those long?
Oh
skinny
yeah, no, I
Virginia
know.
Slims?
Was hardly anything in there to give
Then
you a
the-
proper kick.
Exactly. Then it wasn't enough. Then I think I went to like Marlboro Lights, Parliament Lights. Yeah. I worked
Yeah,
my way
right.
up.
We were
Yeah.
all trying to sneak out of saying we were smoking with the light bit, you know?
Exactly.
But it got to a point where my husband had my mother and I outside of the house smoking because he wasn't a smoker. So every room he would say, no kitchen. Oh, okay. We'd hobble into the dining room. No dining room. No dining room? Okay. We ended outside with this on.
Right.
You know, with those proper little coats with fur in the hood. And it
Right.
just
Remember the
anyway,
Dilbert comics? I don't know if you remember Dilbert. He was like an office guy, a guy in an office. Anyway,
tell me.
it was a comic strip where everybody was standing outside the building on the ledge smoking, and it said smoking section, and they were standing out on the ledge.
There you go. That's what it was about. And I had respect. As a matter of fact, California was the first state to say you can't smoke at the bar and you can't smoke inside the restaurant. Do you remember that? It was
Yes.
infamous. California. Was
Yes.
infamous.
Then it came to New York. I remember.
My mother was furious. I will not sit at this bar. She was outside the restaurant under the sign in the restaurant. Smoking. I said, Ma, it's easier to sit at the bar. No, I won't, you know. It's for smokers. That was the
Right.
first kind of
Funny, you can't smoke inside and you can't drink outside. So it
Yeah.
was one or the other.
Yeah.
Well, Larry Hagman, from Dallas, he used to put a fan on his table in a restaurant and blow the smoke back. to the
I
smoking
know.
section.
Oh, yeah. He was so against it. Larry was so against it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved Larry Hagman. He was so smart and so funny. God, he was great. He'd put on a funny hat, like, I don't know, something from the 1600s that looked like a soldier. And he'd take the kids down the beach, like with the flag, and he would parade down the beach in Malibu with about 8 kids behind him, and took this walk and would sing to them. And I stood out on his terrace with his wife, and watched this go down and said, he's 1 in a million, It was such a great thing to see. And those kids behaved him. They did everything he said.
Yeah.
He was a great gentleman.
Yeah. Great actor too.
Larry, I think Laurence Olivier came to his door once and rang the bell, come in to see the house to see about renting it. And he came in a Persian hat, you know, Persian soldier with the point on the, I don't know. I never saw a hat like this. It was a warrior's hat. And he came and he opened the door and he knew Laurence Olivier was coming. And Laurence Olivier said, "Good morning. Well, you don't frighten me." Good for Larry, you know, because it was pretty frightening. But
Right.
he was an imaginative, creative gentleman. He was wonderful.
Wow. So you were born in Brooklyn, and oh my God, you shocked me when you told me what hospital you were born in, because we were both born in the same hospital, Wyckoff Heights Hospital.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. Yeah, my family came from Ridgewood, your family too. But then you guys soon moved to Texas. So you really
Yeah.
didn't have any memory of being in Brooklyn because you were too young, right? But then you
Too
moved back.
young. Yeah, too young to remember. I remember nothing.
Yeah.
Up
What was-
that time with the family.
Right.
Everybody lived in Brooklyn. A lot of Italians moved to Sweden, to Texas. You never heard about them. They were like, you know, almost disgraced people that they left Brooklyn.
They left
you
Brooklyn.
know.
Yeah.
But my father did. He had to. That was in the 40s. It was very difficult for a
Yeah.
young man who graduated from NYU with a law degree, corporate law. And, to get a job, a proper job was hard, And so there were cousins in Dallas. Come on down here, Mario. We'll set you up in something. Don't you worry about it. And
Right.
it was in the 40s, for God's sakes, when someone came in to sit down to eat, they had on boots, cowboys, real cowboys. I want some steak, tater, and tea. And my mother eventually turned around and said to my father, because they had this little restaurant they started, and Benny Messina was in the restaurant business. So he, of course, after a while, when my father couldn't get anything else, he succumbed to doing a little small restaurant. And the guy came in and he looked at my mother, it was a little counter, and he said, I want a steak, some tater, and tea. And my mother went, I'm sorry? Steak, tater, and tea. She went, Mario? They couldn't understand that.
No, not at all.
God, no.
Well,
But
they
anyway,
tell us we have an accent in Brooklyn, but we believe everyone else is the ones with the accents.
yes, it's true. It's true. Well, I like the accent better in Brooklyn than I did in Texas.
Yeah.
Because there was just something that, Brenda, how are you? How is are you still in your acting career? I would go, please, God, tell me what to answer. Please, God, get me out of here.
So you grew up there, went to grade school, went to high school. When did you decide that you wanted to get into acting?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was climbing up on a chair to my mother's mother, Nanetta, who didn't speak English, and making faces in the mirror and doing, I don't know what, they just tell me that I was animated and I was busy in the mirror all the time. So my father said, Christine, let's just hope she can bow out gracefully. And when I said, I want to be an actress to my father, I thought he was going to fall off the chair. He said, it was interesting because he was right. They're always right, aren't they? Always
Yes.
right. And he said, Brenda, how can you give up 4 years of the last of the true full freedom you'll ever have? And then you walk away with a lot of knowledge under your belt that nobody can take away from you. It's freedom. What are you doing turning it down? And I said that line without having seen the movie that Michael Powell directed called I Know Where I'm Going. I said, because I know where I'm going, Dad.
Wow.
And he went, where are you going? I said, I'm going to New York to be on the stage. And he went, oh my God. Just like he wanted me in MIT, Harvard.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe that this was a choice. And he said, why is my daughter finally chosen the one thing that's going to be constantly disappointing her? And I said, I don't think so. I don't think I will be disappointed. He went, good. Go, Lassie.
Right.
Go.
Go, Lassie. So yeah, you had his blessing.
Well, because I was a girl, I got called Lassie from time. But it's true. Because I saw a woman once on the plane years and years and years ago. And she started talking to me and she said, that's my daughter over there. She said, look at her legs. I said, wow, those are Balanchine legs. They're so long. They're so beautiful. She said, I'm taking her to ballet. She's only 7. I went, 7? She said, I can't stop her from dancing. I said, I think she knows where she's going.
Exactly.
Because sometimes children, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't stop them.
They're driven.
It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it was for me. I definitely wasn't going to college. And I definitely didn't have enough ass power to be called a scholar. I had the gift of gab, but it's definitely not like my father. He said, you have ass power. I said, what's that? You don't have ass power. What is that, Dad? He said, to study, Brenda, to read, to be a scholar. I said, nah.
Yeah.
It just wasn't there. It wasn't there.
Not all of us are cut out to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I read. If he was alive, I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
That you're reading now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's nice when we read because we want to read.
That's right.
Doing it for pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you go to college?
I did not. No, I started my family young. I right out of high school, back then, out of high school, if you knew how to type, you had a job.
Yeah.
You didn't need a
True.
degree, so this is back, in the early 80s. So I, right out of high school, started working immediately in Manhattan, getting,
Typing?
office jobs, typing.
See,
typing,
that's one thing
answering
we
phones.
should remind the audience, that they taught you to type in high school.
Yes, they did.
That was a class.
That's
and
right.
you couldn't turn that class down. That was so interesting because they don't have that class now.
No,
They
no, it's
don't
true.
have typewriters now.
No.
So it's so interesting that you and I both, the first thing that's offered to you, do you type? Let me see you type, please.
You remember that?
I
Yes.
do, please.
God, and I was never as fast as the other girls. They
No,
were
that's right, me
60,
neither.
70. I was like 41 words a minute.
Yeah, right. I couldn't find the cues sometimes. It'd be
Yeah, exactly. What
or
was
the
it? The
R.
sly
My-
fox jumped over the brown dog or cat or something. Do you remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sentence that has every letter in the alphabet? The quick brown dog jumped over the sly fox or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I always was interested in acting. In fact, when I was little, I used to say, when I turn, it was real little, when I turn 18, I'm going to
see?
move in with the Brady Bunch. I used to say.
Oh, great. No, you enjoyed it, right?
I loved it. And I
See how you-
anything that had to do with celebrities, Hollywood. My friends used to say, why do you talk like you know Elvis and Priscilla personally? Because I would say, did you hear about what Elvis and Priscilla did? Like first name basis. Why do you talk like you know these celebrities personally?
You did.
I always had a love.
Yeah. And you did know them because they would let you
Yes.
know exactly as much
Yes.
as they wanted to. And I remember when I was with Michael Douglas, they used to say, well, tell us a few things. They don't have to be true. And I would say, what? But why? Well, because, the audience loves that. Your fans love that. You went here, you did that. I thought it was awful. I couldn't do it because it wasn't honest.
No, but I love that. You were never caught up in a scandal. I found this on eBay. What do you think of this? Is that gorgeous?
Oh God, weren't we gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
He was such a beautiful colt. He was
Aw.
a beautiful guy. He really was.
So you
No,
met
but-
making that movie with him? That's how you met?
Summer Tree?
Yes.
Yeah, he chose me for that.
Oh, he
Every
did?
girl in town wanted to do it. Look at him. He was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he was fun to be with too. I had a lot of laughs with Michael. He's a gentleman.
Now, do you
He's-
stay in touch with any of your exes, like friends, or not really?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because I believe in friendship. And I think that friendship is one of the greatest things that we experience as human beings, And so yes, some no, depending on the kind of relationship that it was.
Right. And you're
So,
married, so,
Yeah. But I think the interesting thing about marriage is that it changes. And if you don't flow and glow with the changes, it doesn't last. And you're also
Good point.
kicking the shit out of the friendship. And sometimes it's not easy to go back and capture it, But
Yeah, so true. It's the person you wanted to be with the most. Now they're the ones you want to be with the least.
yeah, it's odd.
Yes. Wow.
But
So Midnight Cowboy, can you tell us how you got into that movie and tell us about that scene with John Voight?
I auditioned, I think, like 4 or 5 times for John Schlesinger. And finally, I got a call from my agent saying, I'm sorry to say this. I said, no. And he said, Brenda, he's got John Voight there. You've got to go in. I went, yes. Because I knew this was the ultimate audition. Okay.
Right.
And I think Janice Mars, do you remember Janice Mars?
I don't.
She's a wonderful actress. Look her up
Okay.
later on. She was up for it. She also had a very sensual presence and a gorgeous voice. She married Ben Gazzara.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love it.
She was a potent actress. She was really quite wonderful. Anyway, I went in and I read with John Voight. We read 5 times. John Schlesinger took his time, I must say. you know, and then I heard that I got the part and I went, oh my God, Jesus. But then I'd have to do a scene nude. And I thought, what does that mean? The bed scene. I went, oh no.
Oh boy.
My mother can't see my tits before my face in my first movie. I cannot. I cannot. And I told Ann Roth this, who I adore, Ann Roth, the costume designer,
Yes.
who is so brilliant.
She is brilliant.
She really creates the character for you. I could talk hours about her. She's brilliant. And she said, don't worry, we're going to fix it. And this was her first film. And I said, Annie, I have to tell you, my mother, Christy, is going to have a nervous breakdown. I'm going to fix it. Well, she was coming home one night. She lived in Pennsylvania. This is so cute. And she was coming out of a drugstore or something. It was so many years ago, 69, 70. Whoa.
Wow.
And a guy's got his trunk open, and inside there are all these furs. So she went over to him. This is a true story. And she said to him, listen, you see that red fox over there? And he goes, what do you want? What is it? So she said, I wonder, would you sell that to me? And he said, for how much? She said, 250. Yeah, take it. Obviously, he'd stolen these furs.
Yes.
I don't know what he was going to do. So she goes in and she pulls it out. And that was the fur she brought in for me to wear in the scene.
Ingenious.
And so when Schlesinger saw me walk in on the set the first day, he went, Annie, absolutely brilliant. Fucked in Fox. He was so happy. He was just thought it was so brilliant, which it was. It absolutely was. For the character, for the scene, it protected me. John Boyd loved it. Everybody, Adam Hollander went, oh my God, it's fabulous. She kept it a secret. And then I walked in with it.
Yeah.
So was I a lucky girl that day? Yes, I was.
Yes. Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. And that coat, it ended up in her closet. Well deserved, Miss Roth. Well deserved.
And she's been your fashion designer ever since, right?
Ever. Well, she was for quite a while. She stayed with me in California and lived in my house. It was hers as much as it was mine. And I just loved her when she went out at night, what she was wearing. And once I had this sequin coat that came from Holly's Harp, which was this wonderful store in Sunset Boulevard. And she had it on, like crisscrossed with a belt. Talk about what they're wearing today. You know, I mean, that was so perfect. She is a beauty. And she's, I couldn't do a film without her. I did Sarah, which was a television series that Universal allowed me to do. And she created the character.
I remember that. She
literally said, you're going to wear a frock coat, you're going to have a man's hat, man's boots, and you're not going to ride side saddle. And she's going to cut your hair. My hair was, I said, you're going to cut it and have it permed so that it's, I mean, I thought, who is this, Annie? She said, you'll find her. And indeed I did, you see, because it was a liberated woman of her time. When her brothers got all the money because her father in Philadelphia died, she saw an ad in the paper that said a teacher was wanted in the West, in this small town. She took the job, even though she wasn't a teacher. So she literally left Philadelphia, you know, and the submerging of what her life would have been with no money and her brothers telling her what to do. So Annie knew how to dress her. It was an incredible experience. I love her. I think she's #1 lady in this business.
Yeah. I tell you,
there was an issue that came up that they weren't being paid as much as male costumers. And I wrote a long letter.
good.
I
There was
wrote
a lot of
long-
that going on back then. Even
No,
the
now.
actors.
We
You talking about recently?
4 months, 5 months ago.
What?
Furious. And named all the Emma Patias, everybody I worked with. They were down on the list.
Wow.
You know, I mean, without some of these ladies, there was no way to do your part. I know that sounds strange because really the art is within you. You have to create the character. But without the correct costumer, you will not get it.
Right.
It won't go over the fence. like a horse in the right, the right jump.
Mhm, mhm.
But Miss Roth is truly a genius. Yeah.
So your friend of mine knows her and said, "Oh, you got to interview her. I
Who
can
Ann
get
Roth?
her." Yes,
You have to. Oh, she's fabulous.
I
And
would
she's
love to
fun.
have the both of you on together. That would be
Oh,
awesome.
I know. I love her. I love her.
We're trying. We're trying
She's
to
such
reach
a
out.
good friend. Try. Have you called her? Have you written her?
I'm waiting on contact information. As soon as I get that.
Do you know what? My father always said, Brenda, never stop writing letters. I said, why, Dad? Because as you get older, you get better at it. And one day, my dear, it may serve you well. Write her a letter.
Great
Do you know with
advice.
a letter, you've got to hold it, right? It's not a
That's
phone
right.
call. It's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. You got to hold it and it makes you still. And then you read it, and somehow the absorption of a letter can have a lot of an impact more than anything else. Sometimes you win it, sometimes you don't.
That's
But
right.
meanwhile, yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
I wrote a letter to Clint Eastwood. I wanted to play the mother in that Hilary Swank film that she did with him, and he never answered it. And that was okay,
Okay.
because I saw who he hired, and she was right for it more than I was.
Okay.
It's okay that he didn't answer it.
Right.
One time he walked by my trailer and I was sitting there with my feet hanging out in some kind of other movie. I don't remember. And as he passed by, he took my toe and tweaked it and walked on. So he answered it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he answered it. But I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, your whole life. I mean, what a journey. What a journey. And you've worked
It's
with,
been good.
oh yeah.
I'm
Do you
joyous
have any
about it.
favorites? I know you shouldn't ask favorites, but if you had to do, another role with one of your former co-stars, who would it be? Male wise.
I'll tell you, Barry Levinson was the best director I ever worked with. I adored him.
Yeah.
He was a part of you. Do you know what I mean? That's a strange thing to say about a director. But Al Pacino, and you don't know Jack. He called me at night and he said, I'm downstairs. We were in Flint, Michigan. We were going to shoot the scene where the two of them argued. I actually had found that they didn't talk for 6 months after this argument. It had to do with her daughter.
Okay.
She checked where the cops followed who he was, found out where he was. So there was a rift between Dr. Kevorkian and his sister. And then 6 months later, she died. So anyway, they said, we got to do this scene. And it was in the hamburger joint. I forget the name of it. In Flint, Michigan. We shot it there. And Al told me the night before, he said, this scene is thin. It's thin. I said, yeah. You want to come down and rehearse it? He was in the bar. I said, Al, it's 10:30. I mean, what do you,
Right.
I'm having a steak and a potato. I said, okay. Well, I was in my nightgown. I got dressed. I came down there. We started to rehearse it. Before you know it, everybody at the bar was like,
Wow.
they said, Al, he went, see you in the morning. Anyway, in the morning, we're holding the script, right? And he said, this script is thin. I said, I know. He said, you want to do it without the script? I went, what? He said, let's just wing it. Let's go. You ready? I said, yeah, okay. And I've never done this before in my life, I'll have you know. So we both threw the script. He went on, said his lines. I came in and said, and then it was like being on a magic Persian rug going in the sky, and you just let go. You don't know where you're going. And that's once in a lifetime, sometimes with an artist. And we just took this flight together. Barry never stopped it. Barry watched it. Barry shot it. And he printed it. And that has been history, cinematic history for me and Al.
Wow.
The thing turned out, all I could hear was my Aunt Marge in my head saying, what about me? What about me? You know what I mean? And
yes. Well, that was some
I remember
performance.
that.
Yeah.
And then I just remember that scene. And after it was over, Al said, that was cinematic history. And I said, okay, honey. And he said, wow. So, I mean, you can't have a better time with an actor than that,
Yeah.
or with a director who lets you go like that, doesn't say, what are they doing? Stop.
Right.
So he didn't cut a goddamn thing. He printed it and used it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had a director so solidly confident in his actors. He was a joy to work with. But it's been a lot of fun with I've just had the best time ever. I'm joyous about my life. I think I've been so lucky and I'm so happy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Poor dad. Poor
You go to
dad.
MIT, but you're reading books now.
I think he would write, but I think he would be proud of me if he saw me.
Most definitely.
He saw me in one play, which was Flowering Peach by Clifford Odets. Baruch Lumet, Sidney Lumet's father directed it in Dallas, Texas. I was a kid. I played the whore. Thank you very much. And my father came backstage and he said, you have a voice that's made to work on one. Don't smoke. And I was already smoking at that age, 17, you know. But anyway, now I don't smoke.
Right.
And
but you do have an iconic voice, Brenda. You have a very
I can't talk in an elevator.
Sexy.
In Bergdorf's, I have to keep my mouth shut in an elevator.
Why?
Because if I say, yeah, we going, is the restaurant on the 7th floor? Brenda VACCARO? I go,
Right.
no, guess what? No. And then goes, stop it. And I go, okay. So yeah, it's well known.
Yeah.
Which is my mother's voice. She was so great. When she was a kid, she wanted to be a comedian. She wanted to be an actress. So there was a musical. This has to be in the late 20s, for God's sake. She was a kid. She went into audition for a musical. And so the guy was in the, you know how it used to be the piano in the pit with the guy with a cigar playing the piano. And there was a famous song that everybody was singing in those days. My mother used to do it. I would laugh hysterically. And so all of a sudden he says, I'm sorry, we're not hiring baritones today. So she had a beautiful voice. And Anne Bancroft too. Anne Bancroft looked at me and said, don't take my voice. I said, it's already gone. But Annie had that kind of a voice, you know.
Yes. Kathleen Turner also.
Yeah, that's right. That's another one.
It's a sexy sound. It really is.
Yeah. It served me well.
Yes. So I just want to tell the viewers how I met you. So we were both at Frankie Avalon's concert at Garden City.
He was great. Wasn't he adorable?
He was amazing. 8 children. God bless them.
That dress drove me crazy. Tell him about that dress, honey. Tell him about that dress. Every time it came up on the screen, she had her dress on. He said, there's this again. That meant she was pregnant again. I went, Jesus Christ, couldn't she have picked a nice little other? Go to Marshall's and pick a nice dress, will you?
That was hysterical. Here comes baby number 2. Oh, here's the dress. Baby number 3. Oh, there's the dress.
It's the dress. And he was adorable, but go ahead. I don't mean to.
Yes, no, it was fun. No, it was fun. So cousin Brucey was hosting. It was the Palisades Park reunion concert, and the Drifters were there, and Jay Siegel and the Tokens, and of course Frankie Avalon. It was amazing. But in the beginning, cousin Brucey announces to the audience, "We have a very special actress here in the audience," and we're all like, "Oh, I wonder who it is." And they say, Brenda VACCARO. And I shouted, oh, I love Brenda VACCARO. And I heard someone else say, I love. So during intermission, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wonder if Brenda would like, if she would take a selfie with me. So I looked down and there's like a whole line of people. You had a whole crowd around you. I loved it. You are so loved. You really are.
It's such an illuminating thing for me. I can't tell you how joyous it makes me,
Yeah.
how grateful I am. I really am. I just wish my mother was alive to see all this, and I guess Dad.
Yes.
Who would have gone, okay, all right, I'm convinced,
Yes.
But thank you. That's great. Yeah. There was once a lady who passed by me in a restaurant. She said, oh, I know who you are. And I said, thank you very much. No, I know who you are. I mean, you mean my soul or my name? My spirit or my name?
Right. What do you know?
She started to laugh. And as she left, she came back. She said, hey, Brenda. And I said, yes. She said, thanks for the laughs. It was the greatest compliment. I loved it. It was great. So for me, it's applause. Do you know what I mean? I'm not offended by it. I'm shy about it sometimes because the stage where you take a bow, you're protected by the stage. Do you know what I mean? And it hides your shyness or your not your gratitude, but you know what I mean. It's more formal. So, but I've had a wonderful time, and I have loved the audiences that I've worked for, that I've given. They've always been gracious. And God, when I see plays now like Into the Woods or Michael Jackson, and audiences stand up and they applaud, huh? And the love that comes out of an audience for a stage, it's stage performances. It's mind-boggling. I think it's one of the greatest exchanges that happens in the world today.
Right. Because you're right. You have the feedback from the audience right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Paradise Square, this one that didn't run, but it was brilliant, about the Bowery and how the blacks owned half of it and the Irish wanted it. And that duel was sort of like an operetta, you know.
Wow.
And at the end, this wonderful actress stands up and sings, "Go on, burn it down." Well, the audience stood up and applauded for, like, it seemed 5 minutes. It's quite a thing. Quite a thing, you know. I remember one night I was in How Now Dow Jones and I stopped the show and I didn't know what the hell to do. I mean, I was young. It was the first time. Dorothy Fields had written the lyrics, Elmer Bernstein, the music. I was like, I just stood there and Hiram Sherman was there. And I looked at him and they were still doing it. I looked at the conductor, Peter, and he didn't do anything. He was like suspended in air. We didn't realize that this was going to happen, you know, and I just turned and said, thank you. Thank you. Well, I went backstage and George Abbott came at me like a car at 110 miles an hour. Don't you dare ever do that again. Ever do that again. You break the fourth wall. How did you not know this? Oh, I got scolded so bad. So bad. Yeah. And I didn't realize that I broke the fourth wall.
Yeah. How would you have known?
I had to learn. And I was like, oh my God, I called my mother and said, what did I do? She said, calm down.
You didn't know.
It's the way to learn, Brenda. It's all right. He taught you the lesson. He was part of what the lesson was about. Leave it alone. It's all right. You know.
There you go. And you learned a lot.
It's one of those things she didn't move, which is what you have to. You can't move until the audience. But the audience kept going, honey. You can't believe it. It was really unbelievable. I kept thinking, I'm going to sit. No, I'm going to. They didn't stop, and it was
wow.
It was a beautiful thing to see.
That's wonderful. What a feeling that must be.
For her, magnificent and well deserved. Well deserved. Yeah. She was wonderful in the show. I'm sorry that show closed. I thought it was great.
And you were also on Broadway with The Odd Couple, right? The female version?
Yeah, with my beautiful Sally Struthers, who I adore.
I love her. Yes.
Opening night, she was so sweet. She walked past me. I took over for Rita Moreno, and it was a big part. There was a lot of lines to learn there.
Yeah.
And as she passed by me, she said, "I'm so proud of you. I could just bust." And it was so nice of her to do that, you know, because it was the first night where the cast had been doing it for so long. Yeah. I'm already in there, you know, for the first night, thinking, "What's my next line?" You know, and she says that to me. She passed by. She's one of my greatest friends. I love her.
She's wonderful.
Oh, isn't she wonderful?
Tell her we love her. She's got a big fan here in New York.
Yeah, you?
Yeah. I am a huge fan. I met Rob Reiner. My daughters were actually in one of his films. My daughters when they were little, because I have twins.
Oh,
A lot of
great.
times they'll hire twins, because they're only allowed to work a certain amount of hours a day.
What do they look like you?
Welcome.
Do they look like you?
A little. They were small. They were 11 years old, and they were in this movie with Morgan Freeman. But it was a Rob Reiner film. So I got to meet him. He was sweet. And I'm a big All in the Family fan. So grew up with All in the Family.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
right.
And Odd Couple.
She was adorable. Wasn't she adorable in that? Oh
yes,
God.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I loved working with her. I just heard from her by text.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw.
I just heard from her. I love her.
Yeah.
She's a great girl. There's some people in show business that are so worthy and so terrific to meet just as people. Yes, they're good actors, but when they're great people, that just means everything.
That's right.
And that means that's just their job. Here they are being great people.
Right.
And so there shouldn't be anything to say bad about anybody that's got a job that's doing it well. No matter what it is, they're to be honored and to be treated with respect, I think anyway. And sometimes they put down actors and I go, no. There's too many good ones.
Yeah.
Or good people too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of great legends. All right. Can we go back to Michael Douglas? So Michael Douglas, I guess everybody asks you this. How come you guys never got married? I know you said those were the times people didn't get married. They lived together. But how come you didn't stay together? Is that something that you want to share or?
Well, I have a clever way of sharing it. In those days, as everybody will remember, was the late 60s. Michael was a hippie. And he came from Santa Barbara from a commune. He had hair down to here when I first met him. I called him my hippie dippy. I was 5 years older. So I didn't quite know about the commune and all this. I'd done my reading about things, but, we had a hippie wedding in Joel Dean's backyard up Laurel Canyon. And we exchanged little rings. I don't remember what they were, but I mean, remember in those days where they had the little elastic here and you pull it down and then an Umpierre elastic and it went down to the ground and it was like a flock velvet. I had on that dress and we had a hippie wedding and we were together 7 years. And I guess I thought, why are we getting married? The house of finance scared me. Marriage seemed like the house of fun. People break up. I went, do I want a kid? Have you seen The Worst Person in the World, the Norwegian film?
No.
See it tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
On Apple TV. You're going to love it. The Worst Person in the World. It's when we're young, because we're ruthless, because we got nothing but time. So you put your books in some guy's, bookshelf and you move in with him. And 6 weeks later, you meet somebody else and you move out those. We're ruthless with time,
Heartbreakers.
Anyway, so she didn't want, in the movie, she doesn't want kids. She's not ready. No, I don't want to commit to a family. It's all those things I think were pounding in my head. And the pressure was kind of heavy. Like Kirk Douglas would say things like, just tell me you're trying. And, and it was like, yeah. But I think I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And I stopped the wedding.
You stopped the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
mother thought it was the stupidest thing I did. Aww. She said, you're smart, but you're not shrewd, Brenda. And I went, no, Mom. I know it's not time for me. It's not time for me. And I didn't really think we needed it. We were so bound and bonded that I just thought this is really going to be for his father and for all their friends and for a big party. And that's all I can remember.
Right.
But it probably was a turn in the road that was the worst person in the world kind of turn in the road. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Moving on.
Yes.
And, but I don't think it was. Now I see he has 2 kids and he's happily married to a beautiful woman and his work is exquisite. And
Yes.
everything about him is as powerful and wonderful as it always was. And I love him. I bless him.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that's
But
beautiful,
at
Brenda.
that time, I think also, can I tell you the impact of the movement from Haight Ashbury and all, kids on Sunset Boulevard hanging out with like roses in their hair, and you stop
Oh,
at a red light,
yeah.
and they'd come up, and if the window was open, they'd throw a joint in your car and say peace. You
Free
know,
love movement. Yep.
yeah, you know. So it was like, what do we need all this pomp and circumstances? As older, I was 5 years older than him, but I thought to
Right.
myself, we don't need a traditional marriage. We are, you know, I turned into a hippie myself because they thought marriage was like a traditional, boring, old-fashioned thing.
Right.
So commitment was the thing,
Right.
and I thought we had it. You know, so it wasn't a mistake because it was in the now.
Right.
Happened in the now, you know.
Mhm.
And I sometimes I sit up in bed in the morning, honey, and I say, I feel like I'm 15.
Right. I get
What did
that.
I do with those years? I choo, 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 21, 25,
Right.
20. I threw them away like they were candy
Yeah.
bars.
That's what
I
the young
didn't, I
does.
ate enough candy bars. You know, I threw them away in a way. In a way, I did.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize the weight of what they meant and how each year you live, you have to respect and love and be joyous about, you know.
Right.
I said, you can't lose your hope. If you lose your hope, you lose your purpose, you know?
That's right.
And so I just didn't see the need for it. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Please,
absolutely.
it's Norwegian, and the Norwegian actors act this much. American actors act that much. It's too
Mm,
much. The Norwegians do this, and they let you do the rest. So it's a brilliant movie. It's called The Worst Person in the World. And it's like you and me when we were 20.
I have to see it. I have to see it.
It's totally flawless
Wow.
and beautiful. And it won Best Foreign Film, and she won Great Actress. She does so little. In Cannes, she won Best Actress. You know, but that's the way my point can be made.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
Yes.
hope I haven't gone on too long with that, but anyway.
No, but it's so
You
true. When
know,
we're young, we just want to hurry up and grow up.
yeah.
Kind of
And
like
you wanna,
speed
you're
through things
moving.
and you don't enjoy it. You don't stop to really take it in and learn.
Or
and
to think
experiences.
about 10 years from then.
I
Who thinks
know.
about 50?
No.
What, how are you going to feel in 15 years from now? I don't know. You know, I think pretty good, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
It's true.
we're ruthless. Youth can be, what is it? Youth is wasted on the young.
Yes.
So
That's right.
true.
It is so true.
But at the same time, I don't think it was a mistake. I had a lot of experiences that I wouldn't have had if I was married. I would have not met Peter Cook or Don Stroud or, you know, Bernie
Right.
Taupin. You name him, man. I was in love all the time.
Wow, Bernie Taupin.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, look at that was my generation.
Yeah.
So, and it was wonderful to work with everybody that I got to work with. It was, you know, very special time. We were just at that generation where there was still George C. Scott and Maureen Stapleton and Jessica Tandy, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
And Paul Newman and Joanne. There was just, they were all still there. So we were in a great generation.
Yes.
Who wanted to get married?
Great.
I had wings. I wanted to fly a lot, honey.
Right. Right.
Didn't you? What was it like for you?
Yeah. See, I kind of did the opposite, but then it
You
didn't
probably were right.
didn't work out. Well, I don't know. I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have did things differently. I got married young. I had my children. I had my first child at 19. So, I'm a grandmother now, I'm 58,
Oh, how wonderful. But see,
so
that's
God bless
wonderful
them.
too.
But
That's wonderful. I don't have any kids and I don't have any, I'm not a grandmother. And
yeah,
Blythe Danner, all she wants is to be with her grandkids.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
When you get to be a grandmother, you just want your
So
kid, your
true.
grandkids, you want them, So I don't know which road that's the best road. I think we
Right.
just take the road that we think we should take when we take
Yeah.
it.
Right. But you've had
Yeah.
amazing experiences and opportunities, and you've touched so many lives, Brenda. I
Oh,
mean,
thanks,
I
sweetie.
cried with you. I laughed with you. You know, you touched I told you I was watching The Long Way Home the other night, and I was in the foster care system as a child, and you played that
Oh,
social worker. You remembered, you brought back memories of my social worker. You reminded me of her and how I
you were
felt
in the
safe
what
with her.
system?
Foster care.
Were you really?
I was when I was 2 years old. There were five of us. We were all taken away from my parents. It was an abusive
Five.
home.
Your
Five.
mother had five children.
Yes, she did. That's
That's a
why
hell of a woman.
she was well, and she was taking drugs at the time because I don't know how she could, she didn't know how else to cope, you know.
I bet, bless her heart.
Yeah,
That's really something.
yeah.
Why are some women so easily impregnated? I don't know, man. I don't like this.
And we were
You know
one right
what
after
I mean?
the other.
Oh my
We,
God.
we
Five.
overlapped. We were like we were like 11 months apart. We were like one right after the other. But
But that's great. So what happened?
so
Why did
watching that movie, the movie Long Way Home that you were in with Timothy Hutton, you know,
loved him?
I was in tears. You played the social worker, and I said she reminds me so much of my social worker when I was that little girl.
You
You
know, I
know,
was playing a real lady. That was his real late. That was real.
it was
That
yeah,
woman
it was the
existed.
truth. Yeah, well, you did a
He wanted
phenomenal
me to
job.
cry at the end, Joe Sargent, the director.
Mhm.
I said, no, I don't think she cries, Joe.
It was a happy ending.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think she cries. Over the grave, right? Didn't somebody die in it? You saw it recently. Well, anyway, people tell me now the names of movies I did, and I go like, what's the name of that
You
movie?
did so many. I know. No, this one is where you reunited Timothy Hutton with his brother and sister. And so it was a happy ending in the airport. They were all hugging.
Okay, no, I remember.
So yeah. How many movies have you done?
Do you think I counted?
You don't have a tally written down somewhere?
All I know is that I was busy in California. I
Very
left
busy.
New York for a movie and I never came back for years because it was like this. And that's where the business was, you see. Now, today, that's not so. They make a lot of movies in New York, slowly but surely. And you know what Hemingway said? People are places. And
That's
that's why
right.
I'm back here because the greatest people in the world are here.
Yeah.
And somebody gave me a sign the other day. I hope you can say this. I don't know. Can you say it?
You could say it.
Oh, okay. So someone gave me a sign the other day and it says, in LA, they say, I'll give you a call. In New York, we say, fuck you.
So true.
So true. They're so honest. They're so, I mean,
It's so very, yes.
friends, the greatest people are here. I can't live in LA.
I love it here. People are like, why are you still in New York with all the crime and everything? And where am I going to go? If I go, I go to Pennsylvania, after a few days, I'm bored. I want to come back.
Right.
I'll go to Virginia and it's nice there, but I can't picture living there. I can't picture
Yeah.
living anywhere other than New York because this
And
is
you
where everything is
can't-
happening.
I mean, Monday night at Birdland when they have the open mic, the casting, it's a casting party. All these young kids get up and they sing or they tap dance, they play the piano, the jazz, or there's three of them girls, like sisters singing, and they're brilliant. Harmony is perfect. And you go, look at this talent. Oh my God. You don't have a club like that in LA. You don't have talent like this in LA.
No.
These kids know where they're going. It's really brilliant to see. And, the theater's back in my life, just going to the theater all the time, going, oh my God, I can't believe how good Into the Woods is. Did you see it?
No.
Oh my God, go.
Gotta go see it.
Oh my God, it takes
How does it feel being in the audience watching?
I love it.
You enjoy it?
Why wouldn't I love it? It's
Right.
a privileged position.
Right.
I'm joyous about it. And I sit there and it gives me a chance to cry because Stephen Sondheim's not here anymore. So we're never going to hear that music again.
Right.
That kind of music again. So, all of a sudden I feel myself, as they say in Yiddish, quelling, and also to go to see Funny Girl. And because I was in a show across the street from her and we always met at matinee and had dinner between shows, it was before we had to sleep. Now you got older, you had to sleep after a show to do the evening show.
Right.
but I hear Barbara singing it and
Aw.
I start to cry a little bit. You know, I hear the music and I remember. So
What was
it's
she like? What was she like back then? She funny?
she had the black hat. I remember we crossed the street. There was a Chinese restaurant. You went down the stairs. I was talking to Elliot Gould yesterday. And
Oh,
I said, remember
wow.
that little restaurant? He said, yeah. He said the name of it. I don't remember now. But what was she like? Sam, the pants are too long. Does that make sense to you?
No.
Sam, pants are too long.
That's from one of her movies, isn't it?
Yeah, but you remember that that's a song, but she used to be like that. She'd say, hold on, wait a minute. I got to hear the song in my head. I
You
gotta hear
see
the song."
that? I don't know if that's clear.
That's her and him. Oh my God.
It's
look
you
at-
and Elliot.
Oh, I thought it was Barbara.
No, that's you.
Lenses on too. Oh,
Yeah, the lighting's a little bad.
where did you get it?
I'm telling you, you have, these are all on eBay. They're selling like all of these stock photos.
That's sweet. I just talked to him on the phone. He
Well, I'll
read
send
me
it to
a
you.
poem. He
I'm gonna
read
send
me a
it to you.
poem, honey, that his son wrote. I said, Elliot, would you send it to me? You know what he said? He called me back. He said, Brenda, I'm going to write it out with my hand and send it to you. I went, that's so
Aw.
sweet. I said, I'm delighted. You know, I don't know. It's anywhere, anything you do, any place you are, you can make the greatest friends you've ever had. But in New York, if you make a great friend here, they're there forever. It's like a rock.
I
you know,
agree.
I think.
Dustin Hoffman even said in an interview that he's been to LA, he lived in LA, lived in New York. He prefers New York. Something about New York, the people.
The people.
Yeah.
But isn't that great that Hemingway said people are places?
Yes.
It's a short thing, but you can have it in your hip, in your top pocket all the time because it's so true.
Yeah.
Great people are here. Great.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So I want to also bring up that, you know, you were on two very popular TV shows. So people, the generation that didn't know who you were, now they know who you are. You were on King of Queens. You played Doug's aunt and Joey Tribbiani's mother.
Yeah. I ran into Anna's daughter the other night. Anna, married to Jerry.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Still.
And Mira. And
Yes,
Mira. Ran
yes,
into her
yep.
daughter.
Aw.
And she said she thought you were so good in the show, you know,
Aw.
being the girlfriend of my father. And I said, oh my God, Jesus, I loved Ann Mira.
Yeah. Oh,
She
me
was
too.
so funny,
Me
wasn't she?
too.
The
Oh,
best.
yes.
The best.
Loved her. And
Yeah.
Valerie Harper, remember what she played her friend on Rhoda.
Yeah.
Valerie Harper, she was another one of my favorites.
I love Valerie Harper. I did a movie with her. She was so much fun. So much fun. We were in the ladies' room. We started laughing. We couldn't leave the ladies' room. It's just we were laughing. She'd start to open the door and we would start to laugh. I love her. She was great. I miss that lady. I miss that lady.
Yes.
You know, when we're young, everybody's having babies and getting married, and now everybody's dying. I don't know what to do with myself. I go, who died now in his
Oh,
sleep?
gosh.
You know, when James Caan died, I went, in his sleep?
Aw.
He didn't even have a chance to stop it.
Aw. Yeah, another
You
one of
know,
our favorites.
It's
Yeah.
it's so different. But anyway, memories are jewels. They're precious.
They really are. And nobody can take them from us.
No.
No.
I'm delighted to meet you this way. I hope we'll stay in touch.
Yes, I would love that.
You're like such a good lady.
Maybe I'll
good
meet
girl.
you in the city. We could go see a play or something
I'd
together.
love it.
I would
I
love
would love
that.
it. I think it'd be great. We'll stay in touch
Awesome.
for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Aw. Well, thank you. And yeah, let's do this again. I just wanted to ask you one more thing because I
You
know
can go ahead.
want to know. Okay. So we know Kirk Douglas was instrumental in like teaching you, you know, don't move during a close up. You told me that. Right. And Frank Sinatra. You guys, when you were with Michael, you spent a lot of time with Frank Sinatra?
Well, I think I met him through Kirk Douglas and Ann Douglas. and I went to Palm Springs, and I was in his house, and the caboose he bought, you know, that thing on the train, it's a caboose. He
Yes.
decorated and everything, and he made us all walk there after we got out from the helicopter. You know, those were the fancy days. And he
Wow.
showed us the caboose, and then we all watched a movie, and then the food came. So there were many, many occasions when I saw him socially, and Jilly, and he wasn't married then. And so when I did the detective movie, it was pretty joyous for me because my mother came to visit me, and I brought her on the set, and I saw him talk Italian to her. That blew my mind.
Oh,
I didn't know he spoke Italian. And he had this conversation with her, and I'm standing back by my trailer, and they're a little ahead of me, and he's talking to my mother in Italian. I thought I was going to die. And
wow.
my mother was talking Italian. I have heard my mother not talk Italian very much, but they're going on and on.
Wow.
And after it was over, you know, I walked over to him, and he said, "Now I know where you get your beauty from." So sweet.
That's
So
beautiful.
kind. I was absolutely mad for him until he walked off the movie without doing my last scene. He was tired. He didn't want to, he thought he'd done enough. So he left the movie. Brian Hutt, who directed it, went, "Brenda, what can I do?" I went, "What?"
Oh, so they cut your scene.
Sure. What
Oh,
am I going to do it with? Who was I going to do it with?
right. Oh,
But aside from that, he was a great gentleman. He invited me all the time to all of his shows, no matter what it was. I was even at his last concert, last one.
wow.
And I was crazy about him. I could see why Ava Gardner loved him. I could see why women would be crazy for him, you know. And, you know, she wore, or maybe it was him, he wore a watch all his life that she gave him that broke. He wore it. So apparently there was a great love affair there. But was he amazing? Yes, he was. He was amazing. You
There'll
know,
never be another. One and only.
one and only.
Yeah.
One and only, you know, and I made him laugh, which was not easy during a scene, not easy. He was calling me his name. So Mrs. Gilbert, he was Detective Gilbert. That was not, you know, he didn't like to do more than one take. So he saw me go, and he went, and I said, "You're calling me your name." He went, and he started to laugh. "All right, cut, we'll go again." Did it a second time. I said, "Do you need a drink?" So I would make him laugh.
Love it.
"You need drugs? You need a drink? Maybe you need a hot dog or a hamburger. Should we go to Coney Island?" I said, "Go to Nathan's and get a hot dog." You know, he started to laugh. He'd go like this to me. So I had a great experience with him. I loved him.
I don't
Thought he-
think I ever saw Frank Sinatra laugh. I don't remember seeing him laugh.
I know it. It's true. There you go. There you go.
Right?
Well, I mean, what am I going to do? I'm in the middle of
Right.
I'm in the middle of a scene, and he's calling me his name.
That's priceless.
And that's like I did Al Pacino. I was doing that oh God, the movie with Quentin Tarantino. He had to cut us out because it was a flashback and the movie was too long. So he left the back of my head in and me saying hello and my name so that I got residuals. He's such a doll. I love that Quentin.
Oh, is that that Hollywood movie that
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Charles Manson?
Yeah, the scene was, and he called me in to do this scene. You know, Quentin called me and said, will you do this?" I said, "Yes, of course I will." And I mean, you get treated royally. He's so dear. And so Al Pacino and I he was going to be an agent, was in the 60s, you know, take Clint Eastwood, give him 7 movies and make him a millionaire and on his way to being a star, right?
Right.
That's the kind of agent that he was playing. And I was his wife, Mary Alice. I kept saying, "Mary Alice, that's Southern." No. I said, I grew up in the South, Quentin. I think it's Southern. No, don't make it Southern. I said, okay, okay. So anyway, the scene opens up and we walk down a hallway and say hello to the guy with behind the camera who's going to show us a movie. We watch 2 movies every night. And so I go and sit down on the couch and he says, what can I get you to drink, honey? And I kind of turn and I said, well, what do you think I should have? He said, how about a mint julep?
A mint julep instead of a mint julep.
I went like,
That's funny.
honey? He said, yes. I said, a mint julep? And so Quentin starts to laugh and he says, cut. So we have to do it again. Second time. What do you think I should have? And he goes, he walks away. And as he's walking away to the bar down 2 steps, right? He said, how about a mint julep? Oh, shit. He did it again.
Did it again.
So, I mean, these are moments that you remember that are charming and memorable, to say the least, between me and him. Because he kept looking at me going, I don't know. I said, don't worry about it. I like a mint julep. That's the best drink.
A mint julep.
Nobody knows mint julep but you and me, Al.
I love it.
So
That's your little inside joke now.
yeah, right, isn't it? It is.
That's
But
awesome.
you can tell I've had a good time, right, honey?
You've had a fabulous
Fabulous.
career. You still do. You were in Sex in the City. I loved you. You were in 3
That was
episodes, right?
great. I love doing
Love
that.
you in that.
Yeah. What was that word? Skew.
Slew.
What was it in that word?
Slew. A slew?
Slew. How did you know?
I
I
watched.
called Slew. The line is she's walking away, and I say, "Call me." No, no, call me when you feel better about it, whatever. And then I said, because there's a slew of papers to go through. Well, slew just didn't come to me easy, so I kept saying, "There's a lot of papers to get through." So many papers, and so Michael Patrick Keane kept stopping me, and he'd go slew.
He wanted that word.
Isn't that a Shakespearean word? You know, hello, my lord. There's a slew of soldiers at the drawbridge. I mean, I thought the slew was. So, you know, aside from serious work, which I believe in, there have been a lot of laughs.
Right.
And slew, it's
Slew.
not a word that comes easily to my memory. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, we don't use that word.
No, we don't use that.
We're from Brooklyn. We don't talk like that.
I love your desk. It's charming.
Oh, it's a dresser. It's Queens, Brooklyn. It's the 5 boroughs.
It's gorgeous. It's so charming.
You
It's
can
really
see-
nice.
You got Manhattan there and Staten Island. Thank you. So this is when I see you in person, because I'll come visit you. I'd like you to sign that. Does that look familiar to you? You're on the red carpet.
No, that doesn't.
Do you remember the outfit? I know
No.
it's a little
Is that
blurry.
lavender? I'm asking Heather, do you remember it? I don't remember.
Look at your hair. I love
My
the
hair is
hair.
certainly longer, isn't it? Oh
Your
my
hair's long.
God. Who's in back of me?
It's just somebody. I don't know who he is. Well, maybe he works there because he's got a red jacket. Maybe he's a
No,
valet.
not that. The one in the car. Is that Lee Grant?
You can see in the car
Who's in back of me?
the little love buggy.
Is that a love buggy?
Of
No,
course
but
it's
see
cute.
where the white sleeve is, honey?
Yes.
There's a person in back of that white sleeve.
Oh boy. Oh, you have good eyes. I don't think we could see a face. Wow, you have good eyes, Brenda.
Right here, Anna. See this right now? Yeah. Maybe it's my mom.
Maybe.
Anna's saying maybe it's your mom. Yeah, she came with those. She came
Very
to those
cool.
things with me. Yeah.
Very cool. And
Yeah.
this was taken from the archives of one of those celebrity photographers,
Oh,
and they're selling it on eBay.
who was his name?
Let me see. I wrote it down. Let me see.
Okay, don't worry. Don't worry.
Nancy Barr Brandon.
No, I don't know her.
Okay. Hold
Some of them I do know. Some of them
on.
I
Snap
do
the
know.
paper. You look real young here. This has to be like early 70s. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
Very,
It's like
very-
Hollywood
I'd
Walk
like
of
to
Fame.
know what's
Probably.
in the background. Where is the, it looks like a street.
Yeah, I
on-
think they're calling this red carpet. So if it's red carpet, it would be Grauman's Chinese Theater, right? On
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood Boulevard. Interesting.
You know what I'm really waiting for to put my hands? I've done it in Brooklyn, but I'd like to do it at that theater. What is it? I'm still aspiring for that.
Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Yeah, that. I'd love to do that.
How do you apply for that? I mean, how does
I
that
don't
work?
know.
Well,
That
tell her
would
about
be-
Somebody applies.
The Star of Hollywood. It's, what's it called?
No, the Dolby Theater?
The Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes,
Well, people pay for that, right?
maybe. But I think also sometimes they honor you with asking you to do it.
Yeah, you should definitely have a star.
I know. I'd love to do that. There
Somebody
was
needs to
talk
write.
of it years ago, Paul Block was my PR guy and he was with
Mhm.
Rogers and Cowan and there was talk of it then. I don't know, but. I
I'll
mean,
write a letter. Letters
one
are
thing
very
that I
effective.
aspire- Is it?
You
Oh,
said
yeah, no,
letters.
that's-
Letters are very
that's what my
effective. I
dad
will write a
said.
letter.
I know. I
You
should have
definitely
done
should
that.
have a star with your amazing career.
Yeah, but anyway, I
God
couldn't
bless
be
you.
happier, darling. All that I've had has been
Yes.
terrific, terrific.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all those years of
Thank you.
enjoyment.
My darling,
I'm
it's been
so glad
much
I
fun
met
to
you. And
talk to
Anna,
you.
I love you too, Anna. I love you both.
Denise, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
fun. It was great.
Yes.
I loved it.
Aw, I'll send you the link once it's posted. I'm gonna add a lot of you sent me some really nice photos I'm gonna add in. And
Oh, good.
I'm gonna show your
I
tampon.
tried to
commercial.
send you more, but I got confused about how
That's
to do it.
okay. That's okay. No, I did good. I have good pictures. So thank you. So, okay, so for the fans, any last message you want before we close out? Anything you want to say to the fans directly?
Oh, I think keep going to the theater because I don't know, it rejuvenates everything that might have wilted a touch. It just makes you happy and you glow inside. And always go to the museums and look at the art because the art is changing. It's so brilliant, but it's like so varied. So I really believe in staying in touch with artists and looking at their work. And, I think it's also interesting to read everybody's book. Everybody's writing a book, from Angelica Houston to the guy, Mike Davis, who wrote the book about Mike, who's the director? Famous Mike. Can't think of his name. Famous. He directed, what is his name? The Graduate.
Oh,
Remember his name? Well,
I
anyway,
have to look that up.
yeah, don't worry. The point is to stay in touch. Stay in touch with things.
Now, what about for you? Did you come out with a book? Or do you plan on coming out with a book?
No, remember, I don't have any ass power. So to write, even though I'm pretty good at writing, I've not decided to do that. I'm better when I'm talking. Do you know what I mean? When I'm here and I'm one-on-one. I mean, to sit and write, maybe I'll do it, but right now there's just a slew of books out.
It's a slew. You got to get through the slew.
The slew is too many books.
And you
I mean,
don't
I
have to
just found
physically write, Brenda. You could just talk have it
Right.
recorded and somebody will write it for you.
Sharon Glass did a
You have
book.
such an
Hers is
exciting
divine.
life.
Hers is divine.
Who was that?
And she had the best title, Sharon Glass. Yeah, what's her title? Unfortunately, there were a few complaints. Her book is fabulous. I love the title. And but we'll see. I don't know. There's time.
Was the cover a little skimpy? I love that Carol
Uh-huh.
Burnett's. I said, was the cover, you're talking about Cher, the singer?
Oh yeah.
I said, was the cover of her book a little skimpy?
Oh, I said Sharon Glass.
Oh, Sharon Glass.
Yeah, she wrote the book. And did she say unfortunately? Unfortunately, there were a few complaints. That's the title. which I think is a brilliant.
That is a brilliant title.
Isn't it ever? And the back of the book, you know how people always praise your book? The back of it, all of them are insults. Oh,
I didn't like it.
No, I like the word apparently. It's better. Apparently, there were some complaints. Honey, look at this. I'm putting it up there for you.
I love that.
She's so dear and
She's so
funny.
real. She
And
is
on
so
the
real.
back, look at this. Sharon finally gives me credit for saving her floundering career. It was an honor. Robert Wagner. Sharon's book is proof that you can take the girl out of Hollywood, but only to a private island off the coast of Miami. Rosie O'Donnell. Sharon and I have been close friends for forever. Her book reminds me that I really liked her better when she was drinking. Renee Taylor. They're all insults.
I love it.
Look, and that's clever to Sharon and I. I so admire Sharon's unrelenting courage. Imagine having the nerve to think that anyone would want to read this. Randy
It's like a
Rainbow.
roast. Remember the roast?
Here's the best, Jane Lynch. Sharon wrote a book. So I think this is a great idea. This I
I
appreciate.
love that.
Isn't
You
it?
definitely have to come out with a book so somebody could.
But I mean, I want to steal this title.
You could name it. I thought it was a bra. Oh.
Oh my God. So there have been, and Angelica Houston's written 2 books. Lee Grant has a historical book.
Look at that.
Really, you know, so I don't know what I'd have to say.
You have a lot. Oh my gosh. You have a lot to say. You have so many exciting.
But all these girls have
stories.
done better than me. Done better than
I don't know.
Oh
I
God.
would have to disagree.
Oh, sweetheart.
No.
Well, I'll see you soon, I hope.
Yes,
Yeah, I have
definitely.
can you send me, text me everything? Phone number, everything.
I
All
will.
right.
Yes. And I
Do
want
you
to send
think-
you a little gift for being on my show.
Oh, honey, darling,
Yes.
thank you. Never. Where do you live?
I live in Staten Island. I'm born and
Oh.
raised in Brooklyn, but 20 years ago we moved over here because we couldn't afford the real estate in Brooklyn. Now
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't afford the real estate in Staten Island. It's crazy.
You know, Anna took me all around during pandemic, and she said, "You don't know the boroughs?" I said, "Not really." I said, "I came to New York. I went to the Neighborhood Playhouse for 2 years, and then I worked a couple of jobs modeling. Blah 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 blah. Then I got theater, and for 10 years I did theater. I didn't come to Brooklyn." So she takes me around. I see Brooklyn Heights. I said, "Oh my God, oh my God." I said, "I would have bought a house here."
Oh, that's
Truman
all
Capote has
gentrified.
a house here in Idaho.
Beautiful. Oh, wow.
Oh my God, isn't
It's
it
beautiful.
So there
Barbara
was so
Streisand went to high school in Brooklyn. Neil
I
Diamond.
I know. And my mom and dad said, Mom said to me, "Go to Prospect Park." Why? Your father and I courted in Prospect. Courted,
Oh,
Mom? You courted, you know? She
I
was like-
love it.
So, you know, there were things about Brooklyn Shore Drive, Greenwood. I wouldn't go into Greenwood. I thought, I don't want to know no cemetery. So then I finally went, the last day I said, we should go in and let's go. So
You
we
know
get out
who's
of
in
the
there?
car. Huh?
You know who's in Greenwood?
Oh,
The Wizard of Oz.
oh,
Harry
God,
Morgan.
how wonderful.
He's
How
buried there.
wonderful.
Bernstein, everybody's there.
Yeah, everybody's there. I saw Leonard Bernstein's grave and yeah.
Yes.
But I was taking trees,
Mm.
pieces of the trees that I'd never seen before. And, you know, I thought it was so beautiful. My God. I said, it's fantastic here. So when it came time to shoot the CBS segment that they did on me, you know, CBS Sunday Morning, and Ro Mocha said, would you like to shoot? I said, well, how about Greenwood?
That's a first.
I said, yeah, well, we first did it in an apartment of a friend that was up 80 floors. That was already scary. And then we went to Greenwood, which was great fun. And Mo couldn't believe we were in a cemetery. He said, are we really in Greenwood?
That's fun. I saw it. You have such a great sense of humor because you looked at that little tiny little plot and you're like, I don't ask for much, just a little,
Yes.
little tiny plot. Just a
That's
little
right.
piece of land.
Do you know what I said to the guy that you love this, the guy that's the manager, the president? He came, and so I put my arm through his arm. I said, listen, Rich, I just want to ask you something. I got 2 million in my back pocket. I just want this little plot. That's all I'm asking. And I can pay cash today. I brought it with me. What do you say? You want to make a, he started to laugh. He said,
Oh, gosh.
what did I know? That 2 million doesn't come near what it costs in there.
It's crazy.
At
It's
least I
true.
made him laugh because he
That's
thought I was
funny.
going to ask him for water or something. You know, he said, I just want this little plot here. I got 2 mil. Can I give it to you now?
I love it. I love it.
Ah, God.
Oh, that's great. My grandparents are in that cemetery.
And
I have family there. You know, they're behind there's a plot where it's a statue of a bride because she died on her wedding night. So her
Ooh.
tombstone is a bride in Greenwood. There's a
Oh,
bride.
no.
So my grandparents are like on the hill behind her. And I never saw this with my own eyes, but when I was a little girl, my family, we would drive upstate every Sunday. And as we were passing Greenwood, my father, my mother, my sisters were like, do you see her? Do you see her? And they would point in the cemetery. What are you looking at? They said, there's a statue of a woman in a bathtub. And I never saw it. I don't know if they were pulling my leg. And I was like, I don't see it. Where? And then they would say, right there. Yeah, she got electrocuted in the bathtub. So they use, that's her tombstone, is a woman in a bathtub.
That is it.
In
How
Greenwood.
did she get electrocuted in the bed?
I don't know. I just know
That's
she
the
died in-
mystery that
That's
remains.
exactly.
Greenwood legacy.
That's the blow dryer, like you put the blow dryer in the sink.
Oh, yeah, right.
I can't get
God
any
almighty.
information on it, and I never saw it. My family were always like, she's right there. Don't you see her? I was like, where? So
That's great. That's
that'll be a mission we could go on. We got to find the lady in the bathtub.
right. Well, I can't tell you how glad I am I met you. I'm delighted to know you better
Me too.
today. And I hope that we can be friends and that I can see you again.
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you. I had such a good
I-
time. I really
had-
enjoyed this.
I had a
did.
ball. I love talking to you. I had a ball.
Same here.
I'm so glad that I met you. And yes, we are definitely friends for life.
Okay, great.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Aw,
Let
awesome.
us know when this is on.
I will. Okay. All right. And if anyone wants to reach you, any of your fans, you're on Facebook? I think you are.
Brenda Vaccaro 1.
Brenda VACCARO, that's your
Yeah.
That's it? Oh,
They
Brenda
can look for
Vaccaro.
you on Facebook. Yes.
And Instagram.
And Instagram.
Official Brenda Vaccaro. I never
Yes.
go to these things, you see.
Right. But your
Don't
fans.
say that. Don't put that on. She said, don't put that
You
on.
do go to them.
I do go to them.
Well,
I
now
show
you
her
have
all the
to.
time. She doesn't realize she's on it when I show her.
I
Right.
don't realize it. Why is it not good to say that?
Because that's what people want to follow. If they want it to be personal because they think they're reaching to you, and you're saying I don't go on it. So what's the point of them going on it then? How are you going to get followers if you say you don't go on it?
Okay. So we're going to start over and I'm going to say,
Yeah.
so if people want to reach you, how can they find you? And you can say Facebook.
Facebook?
Okay. So Brenda, wait, okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
I thought it was a bra. Okay. So I keep using that bra joke. I think it's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
So Brenda, if people want to reach you, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook and Brenda Vaccaro
Okay.
and Instagram.
Okay.
Brenda Vaccaro. I'm just trying to remember that.
Official Brenda.
Oh yeah, official Brenda Vaccaro Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Let's do it
Yes.
again. I
Okay.
can't
It's
remember
just
it.
official
Anna.
Brenda. It's your
Okay.
name
So
is-
how about I say it? I'll just I'll say it.
Yeah,
Official Brenda Vaccaro. So you're Brenda Vaccaro on Facebook.
that's
and
right.
Official Brenda. Okay. Okay. Well, Brenda, thank you so much for being on my show. I absolutely love talking with you and I love you and we
I
have
do.
to
I
talk
feel the same
again.
about you. Yeah,
And so for the viewers, if they want to reach you, you're on Facebook, Brenda Vaccaro, and
Right.
you're also on Instagram, right? Official Brenda Vaccaro.
yes.
Great. Okay.
And so I'll be delighted to hear from everybody.
You are
And
going
thank
to
you
get,
so much for today.
you are very welcome. You are going to get a slew of comments from your fans now.
All right, but the slew is at the drawbridge. The
That's
slew
right.
of soldiers. I love. Why that word makes me laugh, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I
Anyway,
know.
I love you, darling.
All
You're
right,
the
love you
best.
too. We'll talk again
Thanks,
soon.
Jenny.
God
Okay,
bless you.
darling.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.